Right. So we are here. Thank you guys for attending tonight's Wellness Wednesday. Our topic for tonight is boundaries, wellness, and peace. And I am going to be your host for the evening. My name is La Brown. I am a confident coach. I'm a wellness advocate, and I am a boundaries bestie. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm going to tell you how boundaries go with wellness and peace and why they mix well together, and what we need to take away from tonight so that you guys have a better understanding of your boundaries and how it relates to your peace and your wellness. And any changes that you may want to make in your life because you want to make sure that your life is balanced, also has a good mix of boundaries so that you can have true peace and true wellness as much as you can in this world today. Okay, so again, I'm La Brown. I am your confident bestie. I'm a women's empowerment coach. I'm a spoken word artist. I am a habitual boundary pusher. I like to push boundaries on everyone. And I'm a hype woman for any woman who's ready to stop playing small and start protecting her peace. Now, I was not always working full time in this space. I have 20 plus years in the IT, web, and social media world, which means I really learned how to set my boundaries in that environment. I also worked as a makeup artist for places like MAC and Sephora, and then for TV and film. And really, what that means is that I have been doing work with women's empowerment and identity and image for a very long time. And I'm very familiar with how much we pour into other people, but we rarely pour back into ourselves. And so that resonated with me a lot. Also, I am a spoken word artist. I'm a published author. I have a book out on Amazon called Banter and Bourbon. You guys can go look for that on your own time. And I have my next book on confidence that will be coming out later this year. And then one scary and crazy thing that I did that built confidence was I walked as a full-figure model for Fashion Week Times Square. If you guys have ever been to Times Square, you know how crazy it is with all the people and the lights and the cameras, and imagine a big runway going down. And I really learned that you have to have confidence and that it is not something that you are born with, it is a choice. So I made that choice to walk that runway, and you guys are making a choice tonight to spend your time here to work on your boundaries. So congratulations on making that choice. It might be scary for some, but it's a really, really good choice. All right. So even with all of that, even with all these things that I did, I realized that I really hit a wall. I was really burned out. I was in this rat race. I got laid off at the end of last year, and it ended up being the best thing for me because I had already created a company called Raw Lovely LLC, and I created a brand under it called Your Confident Bestie. It allowed me to fully jump into the world of helping women to really develop their boundaries, stand on those boundaries, and how to really create a life of unity between boundaries, wellness, and peace. And then I linked up with doTERRA, and now I'm like, oh, look at how everything matches together. So it's a really good opportunity for us tonight to really figure out how those two things can meld together and how it makes us have a really, really good life. All right, so now that you've heard a little bit about me, I'm going to turn my attention to you because I want you guys to ask yourself some things. I want to set the stage for tonight. So you don't have to put this in the chat. You can if you want to. But I want you to ask yourself these three questions. One, when was the last time you said yes when you really meant no? When was the last time? All right, number two, have you ever gone along with something just to keep the peace, only to feel resentment later? I see some nods. Some people like, I got because a few screens on, so I'm looking over here because my screen is over here. And y'all like, yep. Here's question number three. Do you find yourself constantly exhausted, overextended, or secretly hoping someone else will finally step in and give you a break? You guys ever had those feelings before? Well, if so, you were in the right place, right? You were here where you should be tonight because this is what we're going to talk about tonight. If you nodded yes to any of these issues, if any of this resonated with you, then this is why we're here. So the question is then why is it like this? Why does this happen to so many women and so many people? This is what we're going to explore tonight. All right, five things. Why boundaries are essential for peace and wellness. The surprising, or maybe not so surprising, reasons why women struggle to set boundaries. Three, the different types of boundaries and how they show up in real life. Number four, a simple wellness routine that I've adopted that supports my boundaries and my energy. And then number five, real world practical solutions that you can apply not later, but you guys can apply immediately. All right. So let's talk some facts because facts are not feelings. And we all have feelings about boundaries and wellness. Let's talk about the facts. The facts are that according to the American Psych University, nearly 60% of women have trouble setting and standing on their boundaries. 60%. Now, another study by YouGov said that more than half of women find it that they are regularly overcommitting to things that they really don't want to do, but they feel guilty about it. So they just say yes. And then in the workplace, LeanIn.gov had a study, and they said that women are far more likely than men to do jobs that, what did they say it was? Non-promotable tasks. So they overextended themselves to do things that were non-promotable. What do these things include? It included setting up for parties, organizing events, cleaning up, staying late to clean up, filling in for coworkers, things that you were not paid extra for, you're not being recognized for. The reason why, they simply didn't feel like having the conversation to decline, right? So why does this happen? Why is it like this? There are reasons. Okay, there are reasons. One, we're raised to be too nice, polite, and accommodating as women. Two, we fear being labeled as mean, difficult, and aggressive or bossy. We don't want to disappoint others or quote unquote rock the boat. We feel responsible for everyone else's comfort except for our own. And we confuse being needed with being valued or validated. And let's be honest, in some places, whether that's at home or in the workplaces, some setting boundaries can come with real pushback, right? So we don't want to experience that. So this is where the work really begins. Boundaries are more than rules, right? They are reflections of your self-worth. And it's when you don't set them, then people will run amok. They run over you, right? It's like they have access to all of your time, your energy. Um, you really have to be able to set these boundaries because, again, if you don't, people will run. So, why do boundaries matter when it comes to wellness? Because we talked about boundaries and we have a pretty good understanding. But what about when it comes to wellness, right? So, we heard the statistics, we got the reasons. Well, one reason is because everybody wants to be well, right? You want to be well, I want to be well, we want to eat well, we want to sleep, we want to meditate, we want to journal, we want to drink all of our water, right? We want to take our supplements, take our vitamins. We want to breathe deeply before our best friend sends us the 15th meme on IG today. We want to get all these done. But how do you do this when you're overworked, you're overstimulated, and you're overwhelmed? Right? How do you do that? Your family thinks that your me time is negotiable. Your boss expects you to be available 24/7. You want to say no to the latest happy hour or going to an event, or you really don't want to spend the money, or you really rather stay home on the sofa in your furry slippers and robe, but you say yes because you don't want your friends to feel bad. You don't want to be considered a bad daughter, a bad friend, a bad mother, a bad auntie. You are constantly in this cycle of people pleasing. When these things are going on, when you're not setting the proper boundaries, you can't focus on wellness, nor can you actually have peace. And I get it, right? Because this thing happens to all of us. It used to happen to me all of the time. And then the lovely B word, boundaries, came into my life, and I really understood that that is what's necessary for me to establish little areas of my life, in so many areas of my life, where once I had those established, those boundaries, right? People understood how to engage with me. Now, again, how do you do it? I forgot that I had a slide for it, but all of the things that we just talked about, right? All of these things that plug away at us. If this is happening in your life, if any of these items resonate with you, if you're like, yeah, that's me, yeah, that was just me today, that was just me last week, you're in the right place. All right. So when your boundaries are weak, everything suffers. Everything in your life suffers. Your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. You make poor financial decisions. We just talked about going to happy hour when you don't got any money, right? You make poor financial decisions. Your relationships are often off balance. They're very one-sided. So if boundaries are the foundation, or at least they're supposed to be, ask yourself, how shaky is your house? Right? If boundaries are the foundation, then I want you to ask yourself, How shaky is your house currently? It's something to think about, right? So you want to make an assessment of your boundaries. And when you make that assessment, then you want to ask yourself, all right, well, what do I need to do to my boundaries to make them better? Well, first, you need to figure out that there's so many different types of boundaries, right? A lot of people only think about physical boundaries, that like our space, right? Don't touch me, don't hug me, don't get into my space. That is one type of boundary, but there's many others, right? We have emotional boundaries, protecting your feelings from manipulation or guilt trips. You have your time boundaries, not letting folks eat up your day like it's an all-you-can schedule buffet. You have digital boundaries, turning off the notifications on your phone, not getting that ding, 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 that buzz that constantly takes your attention, right? Saying no to what we like to call doom scrolling, just mindlessly scroll. That's addictive. You set boundaries, though. You can yourself not be falling prey to that thing. But no financial boundaries, not loaning money you can't afford to give, or better yet, can't afford to lose. An energetic balance. Some people, they don't just take your time, they take your life. Right? You literally want to die. They just take all of your energy. These are the many, many types of boundaries in our life. So when you have these this awareness of all of the boundaries that you have in your life, then you start to understand that, oh, I don't need just physical boundaries. I need boundaries in all of these areas of my life, right? Because all of these areas deserve protection. And when you are able to make sure that all these areas are protected, all right, now you can focus on focus, right? Now you can have some peace. So where does this actually come in? Peace is not just like a beautiful setting, right? It's not just candles and nice music and a bath. Like I love fun. But peace is really more active, right? Proactive, really. You have to go after it. You have to pursue peace, right? And so it's more than just a setting. I wish that dog got. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys can still hear me over this dog bark. But what does it look like, right? What does it look like when boundaries and peace and wellness all go together? I'm gonna give you a scenario of myself, right? So I told you I'm a confidence coach. That means I talk a lot all day. I'm on Zoom just like this. I have cameras in my face, I have lights in my face, right? I'm handling people's issues. I teach workshops, I facilitate boot camps, I do public speaking for corporations. Like I am always on. But at a certain point in time, the computer has to be closed and the lights have to go off, right? And also left in the office. Like I'm not bringing my laptop to my bedroom. Now I did last night because I needed to work on this. I needed to work this situation out for tonight. But usually the laptop is not going into the bedroom, right? And then when I get to the bedroom, I can look at my phone for a little bit, but I have a little notification that turns off at a certain time, and it says, "Hey, your bedtime focus is about to cut on." What happens when my bedtime focus cuts on? I don't get any more text messages. I don't get any more social media alerts. I have certain things. If my mama calls, she can get through. But most people can't even get through because I've set up that boundary. But what does that do? That allows me to talk to my husband. That allows me to have any kind of conversations I need. Allows me to wind down and get some sleep. When I get some sleep, I wake up refreshed because I'm not tired, I'm not grouchy. I set those boundaries ahead of time. And when I wake up refreshed, now I can focus on my wellness, right? What do I do for wellness? Well, me, like I said, I've been introduced to doTERRA. So I do the whole foundational wellness bundle thing, right? I get the three things. I get my green drink, I get my supplements. I'm able to focus because this is how I want to start my day. We're going to talk about morning routines later. But I get to focus on my wellness. I feel peace because I set my boundaries. I set myself up for success. So that is how they all go together. Right? That's just one, and that's not every day. I would love for to say that this is every day that this happens. It doesn't happen like this. Every day is not picturesque perfect, but we try. We set the boundaries to make it happen. So the wellness and the peace, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. So that's my wellness routine. That's something that I do. That's one of my examples. I want to give you guys some quick routines that you can do, some quick wins. Right? So if you're taking notes, so this is going a little bit fast, but if you're taking notes, here are 5 things that I want you to keep track of and to incorporate in your life. All right, so let's go through them. Time block your peace. Schedule, right? Schedule your workouts, prep your meals, take your vitamins, and hold on to this process like there's a pot of gold at the end of it. Make these non-negotiable. So whatever those things are that you have to do, they are a must. Schedule them, put them on your calendar, have alerts pop up, right? Set the boundary so that when the alert comes up, if anything else is coming at it, it can't get it. Now, also, I want you to practice saying no without the 3-minute monologue. Why? Why without a 3-minute monologue? Because no is a complete sentence, right? We talk about that heavily in my B is for Boundaries workshop. No is a complete sentence. So say something like, hey, that doesn't work for me. I'll have to pass. Or this doesn't align with what I'm doing right now. Anything that, you prepare ahead of time, prep them notes. But we're not giving dissertations when we turn down invitations. We're just going to say no. All right. Also, I talked about this. Build a morning or an evening routine that's yours. Even 15 minutes with a cup of tea, you can read a verse, you can say a gratitude prayer, you can journal, you can meditate, right? It can truly help to reinforce the boundaries that you set for yourself for the day. And it can change your whole vibe, especially on those days when you wake up a little spicy. You might wake up and fight for whatever you fought in your dreams and just went over to the morning time. Or maybe you woke up and you're just not right. Follow that morning routine and get yourself back on track. Don't let the world attack your boundaries, okay? And finally, use support tools to help you simplify wellness. Spoke about my morning routine with the wellness system. So the green drink, right? For me, the green drink works. I know I'm not getting all of my vitamins and my minerals in my food. It's a fact. It's just a fact. I'm not a farmer. I don't grow all my food. I don't know what's all in the food today. I'm not getting it. So for me, it's simple, right? I got my green drink, check. I got my supplements, check. There's a book called Atomic Habits, one of my favorite books, and it says there are simple things that you have to do to make a routine stick. You want it to be easy, you want it to be simple, you want it to be enjoyable, right? So that works for me. So get your routine that works for you and something that can be simplified. And finally, get support. You're not meant to do this alone. Okay, we are humans. We like company and companionship and people. So boundaries are easier to do when you have a coach. I wish you guys had a coach. I wish you knew a coach. If only you knew a coach. I'm a coach. I'm a coach. If only you knew a coach. But somehow you have one. So, this is great. This is wonderful. So I can work with you, but also, again, have friends, have accountability partners, all of these things. So here is your take home challenge. Now, I must love you guys because I charge for my challenges. I'm giving you guys this challenge for free. Right? 3 things, 3-part challenge for you. We're going to call this the Boundary Awareness Challenge. All right? So for the next 3 days, I know you only came to a 20-minute talk, but I am challenging you to expand this for at least 3 days. I want you to do these 3 things. Number one, track it every time you say yes out of guilt, obligation, or fear. Then I want you to make a quick note of it in your phone or planner. So just decide where you're going to keep these notes because you want to keep them in the same place for 3 days. You can have it together. All right. Number two, notice how your body reacts. Your body is going to tell on you, right? When you're not at peace, when you're not well, when your boundaries are out of whack, your body will tell you. So, did your shoulders tense up? Did your stomach drop? You might need to drop your shoulders now. Right now, just drop your shoulders. Your shoulders might be high. You don't even know why. It's a bad day. Just drop your shoulders, right? Unclench your fist, unclench your jaw. Right? Your body will tell you. So keep note. When you say yes out of guilt, obligation, or fear over the next 3 days, I want you to notice how your body reacts and write it down. And number three, ask yourself this question at the end of each night. If I had honored my peace today, what would I have said or done differently? So some reflection. All right. So that's it, guys. That's what I need you to do. That's what I want you to do. And did I put this in here? I didn't. Okay. If you don't have an accountability partner, and I know that some will see this, maybe if there's a replay or something, but my email address is hello, HELLO, at lalovely.com. I meant to put this in the slide. At the end of your 3 days, feel free to email me the results of your challenge. Hello at lalovely.com. Maybe we can have Danny put it in the chat or something like that. But hello at lalovely.com. At the end of your challenge, feel free to let me know how this challenge went. All right? That's good. So let's get ready to wrap this thing up. All right? 2 things I want you to do. But before I do, let's just help you to remember, right? Boundaries are not going to change overnight. It's going to take some work, right? And you may encounter some pushback. You will encounter some pushback, not even may, you will. But one thing I want you to remember is that those who do not appreciate your new boundaries are those who benefited from you not having boundaries in the first place. All right? So keep that in mind as you push forward with your boundaries. You must remember that you not only need boundaries, you not only need wellness, you not only need peace, you deserve all of these things. All right, so here's two things I want you to do as we close out this session. Number one, I want you to go to thebisforboundaries.com. Thebisforboundaries.com. And then I want you to go there because that is where you go to sign up for my free workshop. And this is the workshop where I teach women how to stop people pleasing and how to say no without guilt or fear. All right. I want you guys to all embody the confidence journey and really lock in your boundaries. And again, it's so much easier to do when you have a coach. So attend the free workshop, get the free training, and really hone in on making those boundaries. Number two, next Wednesday, I want you to attend the doTERRA's Wellness Made Simple workshop. I think it's a 2-minute plan, 2 minutes of Wellness Foundation, and it's going to be next Wednesday. How do you get plugged into that? You're going to talk to whoever invited you tonight, and they'll get you the link for next Wednesday. Remember your two things. So you have a 3-day challenge. You have a boundaries workshop that's happening this Sunday, by the way. So go ahead and register quickly. And then you have a wellness conversation next Wednesday at 8. All right. And that's all. That is all I need you to do. I think that is it. I don't think I have any more slides. No, that's not my slide. So I think that is it. I'm really happy that you guys joined in tonight. And I will tell you the last thing, right? The world will make you think that you're crazy. The world thrives on making you not have any boundaries, which in turn makes you not have any peace, which in turn makes you not have any wellness, right? That's absolutely not what we want. So remember the things that you learned tonight. Remember that you deserve boundaries, you deserve wellness, that you deserve peace, and that they all start when you start setting your boundaries. All right, guys, thank you for tonight. I think that is it. I am going to stop the share. And I think for a little bit, we have time for questions. Oh, it's 7:30 on the dot. Questions or anything like that if you guys wanted to ask. Otherwise, you do have my email address, so you can feel free to send me a message on the side. I don't see anything in the chat.